We're gonna react to Discord's most important legal battle. Involves pirating. Pirating.
Discord is committed to fulfilling its obligations under the law, but acting as your
Alright,
cop
here we go.
Discord is committed to fulfilling its obligations under the law, but acting as your copyright assertion partner is not one of them. Your firm continues to make improper and overly burdensome demands, including immediate threats of motion practice and non-existent legal matters. That whole paragraph of word salad is a Discord lawyer telling a company to f*** off because they're trying to find video game pirates on Discord by invading a bunch of people's privacy. Today we're in for a treat because this is the most juicy lawyer drama I have seen in a hot minute. So for some background and just to understand what's going on, there's a video game called MapleStory, which is a free-to-play 2D side-scrolling MMO that was launched in 2003. Now, this video game is owned by a company called Nexon Co. Limited. Nexon, believe it or not, is a ginormous company. In fact, if you look on their Wikipedia page, their revenue for the year 2021 was 274.5 billion yen, which is equivalent to $1.8 billion a year. If it isn't clear, Nexon is printing a load of money. And their whole game model is free-to-play online worlds. And you can see from this graph here that they have a handful of games that have made, in their lifetime, more than $20 billion for Dungeon and Fighter, and for MapleStory, more than $3 billion. Now, you might be asking, how does a video game company make $3 billion off a free-to-play online virtual world gaming model? Before I continue, I just want to say, this is my personal opinion, and everything I'm talking about is alleged, because right now the case is all ongoing. As I was saying, how do they make billions of dollars? Well, they do scummy stuff like microtransactions, and according to a news article on September 22nd in 2024, it turns out Nexon had to pay $16 million to compensate MapleStory players for rigging loot boxes. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm not done. Things get even worse. It goes from just greedy company into full-on dystopian reality, because there's this Korean news article, and the headline reads, "The main culprit who operated the illegal private server of MapleStory," you know, the video game that we're talking about, "is arrested and sent to prison, and another is wanted by Interpol." People who have made a private server for a video game are getting arrested and sent to prison. We're fucked if this is where society is going. In addition to the main culprit, 4 other people, including employees of a hosting company, these people aren't involved, they're just hosting the game, and they went to jail, as well as designers and programmers who were involved in the operation of the private server. All those people were arrested and sent to prison on the same charges. In prison, we have people that do the most heinous shit on the planet, and then we have people who made a private video game server going to prison. And it's not just going to prison, by the way. Nexon said, remember, the video game company that rigged loot boxes, I really want to drive that point home just to show you how big of a piece of shit, in my personal opinion, this company is. Nexon said, "We plan to take legal action in civil and criminal cases to punish them, recover all of their ill-gotten gains, and seek compensation for damages." Illegal private servers are those that create and service similar games without permission from the copyright holder. They operate as if they were the same game without going through an official server. And apparently, it takes unfair profits from users. The whole reason why this is happening is because Nexon isn't getting their money from the people that are playing these private servers. Oh, it just gets worse, by the way. Promoting, supporting, or helping to test private servers is also subject to punishment. If you are caught using a private server or your record is activated, you will be subject to restrictions on game use, that's fair, such as protection mode or blocking, and legal punishment. If this sounds horrible, it's because it is. And let's get into this legal punishment, because that's what's been happening recently. Now, to understand how Discord is related to this whole entire situation, we're taking a look at an article by Torrent Freak, which I'll have linked in the description. Thankfully, in this article, they explain the background on why Discord is being involved. Under US law, rights holders have an option to identify alleged copyright infringers without having to file a lawsuit. So instead of going through the process of filing some massive lawsuit that costs a whole bunch of money, instead, people who own a copyright can request a DMCA subpoena. In terms of like a lawsuit being a level 100 mafia boss, a DMCA subpoena is like the level 1 noob. It's a very low-level document. They're typically signed by account clerk, and they don't require any judicial oversight. And the reason why any company would use a DMCA subpoena is so that they can get the personal details of an anonymous person who is allegedly infringing someone's copyright through third-party service providers. And that's where we get to taking a look at legal documents. Now, the second I see a legal document in a YouTube video, my eyes roll to the back of my head. So we're going to skip all the nonsense and we're going to go straight into the important bits that actually explain what the f is going on. On June 12th, 2024 at 12 p.m., this legal firm sent a subpoena to Discord, a DMCA subpoena. Now,
long
again,
ago?
a subpoena is basically a piece of paper that is
Last year?
forcing you can see in bold, you are commanded, forcing you to provide information. Nexon wants Discord to provide the information of every single user that they list, which I'll show you the big list. And the information that they want from each one of those Discord users are their names, last known addresses, last known telephone numbers, all email addresses, and mailing and billing addresses of each of their payment methods. They also want hosting providers and servers and any other contact information and logs of IP addresses. Now, at this point, I wasn't aware, but it turns out hosting providers and servers, what Nexon means by this is a lot worse than just getting access to a Discord server. Now, if you're not informed on how Discord's copyright system works, it's pretty straightforward. On Discord, if you have any copyright or intellectual property violations, what you can do is you can file a DMCA takedown request using Discord's built-in form, which is relatively easy. You send in your email, subject, description. The really important thing about this form is that typically what you do is you report a message and you have to provide a message link. Like, you need to show Discord what is the thing that is breaking your copyright. You need to show Discord directly because they're not going to do the digging for you. But you can fill out that form, or what you can also do is send an email to Discord's copyright agent, or you can send Discord a letter directly. And well, that's exactly what Nexon did with their legal team. They sent a letter directly to Discord, and the subject is DMCA takedown request. Now, we'll notice it's focusing on MapleStory, and as we scroll down, we enter the list. But this massive list that you see in front of you is every single person that Nexon wants to find information on so they can put them in jail and sue their ass.
I'm suing your ass for millions.
Now, taking a look at one of these entries, we can see that there's the server name of the Discord server, and we can see the website, Discord server ID, infringer user ID, the invite code of the Discord server, and an example message link of the infringing copyright activity. Now, when there's a Discord invite link, you know what I do. I pull up my alt account, Brad Armpit, and I start trying to join these servers. And it turns out, if we go through the list, most of these servers are already taken down or the invite links have expired. And this just continues on and on and on until there was one server that I found that actually exists. Now, the interesting thing is that we can actually copy this message link, put it into Discord, and try to see what is this horrible copyright infringement that's happening. Anyways, from here on out, I'm going to be using Google Translate so things will look, can understand what's going on. But this was supposed to be a download link to these guys' private server. But as you can see, the server is basically completely shut down. There hasn't been an announcement since April 25th of 2024, but it is clear in terms of this server and this message link, Discord did their job. They complied by taking it down, or these guys got a heads up and they deleted it themselves. But then taking a look at the server directly underneath the previous one that I looked at, it is also up. But if we look at the translations, what is the heinous thing that these guys are doing? They're adding different types of accessories to the game. They're basically just modding the game, or just adding little tweaks. Battleship movement speed and jump power modified, battleship stamina modifications.
Right to jail, right away.
These are people that are just playing a modified version of the game, and they're being put in prison alongside murderers and, you know, actual criminals. But then we get to another list that the Nexon lawyers made. This makes no sense to me. The wanted infringer and infringing material is the Discord server itself. Remember how I said you need a message ID showing this is the thing that is infringing our copyright? These guys said, that's cool and all, but we're lazy. In fact, if you look at these listings, it shows you the website, Discord server ID, the infringer ID, the invite reporting the whole server. Also reported their Discord bot, which, well, if I put in the user ID of the bot, oh, hello, there we go. It is the old command bot. And the funny thing is that that bot does nothing. But again, it's the same thing. It's just a free MapleStory server that's old. It's free. They're not even making money from it. They just want to play the game back in 2008. Now, technically, this does break copyright laws because they're using their assets that they made. Nexon does own copyright to the old version of the game. But in the grand scheme of things, is this really taking away money from Nexon, people enjoying the old version of the game? It's debatable because you could both play the old version and pay for the new version and play both of them at the same time. But going through the rest of the servers and noting them down, I just want to show you how big of an issue this isn't. I say isn't because look, there's this server here that has 458 members. This one has 8,000. This one has 5,000. This one has 500 members, and through the graveyard of other ones. This one has 21 members, and this one had 105. Ladies and gentlemen, we at Nexon make $1.8 billion a year, but we need to put 8,000 people in jail for not playing our game and spending money on it. From a pure numbers thing alone, this makes no sense. They're spending all their time legally battling tiny ants that aren't really big. It's just a small little group of people. It's not cutting into your profits substantially, in my opinion. But the thing is that Nexon has actually done this exact same before. Because when Nexon obtained a DMCA subpoena last October, Discord initially objected, deeming it overbroad and unduly burdensome. And I'm gonna be honest, there's no other way to explain the legal
Well, that
documents
says
I'm
it
about
all.
to show you. Because remember what was shown in the news article. Promoting, supporting, or helping test private servers is also subject to punishments, including legal punishment. And they weren't joking. In the subpoena, Nexon provides a detailed description on how each copyright infringer utilizes Discord for their infringing activity. So these are the type of people that Nexon is reporting. They're reporting people that own the private servers, but they also want to get the information so that they can sue and put people in jail for promoting the private server, either creating a server or sending a link in DMs. Just for doing that, they want to find your information so that they could sue you or put you in jail. They're also looking for designers associated with private servers. So if you do fan art for one of these private servers, so they add in a custom character of yours, congratulations, you're going to jail. Well, at least in Nexon's
That's
dystopia
insane.
that they're trying to actually...
So it's pretty much dictatorship with this fucking Discord, with this fucking game. You can't even do shit. Do one thing, you're getting your ass back in jail.
turn into reality, which is complete asinine. And finally, they want information on cheat software sellers. Now, that makes sense. This is kind of like normal stuff that's been done before. But it feels like they want to sue absolutely anyone who has touched or contacted or joined one of these Discord servers. Nah, okay, hold on. This is actually I thought about this a little bit more, and while I'm editing this, I look back at the material, and it turns out this is what Nexon actually wanted. They wanted to go into people's DMs. Nexon, in clear writing, says they are classifying private server promoters as people who are informing private server operators about server promotion costs via Discord DMs. They will need those Discord DMs to prove their legal case, assuming, Nexon's going to sue these guys and put them in jail. And it's not just for promoters, by the way. For example, informing the join private server operators about the time and cost per design work via DMs. They want access to your DMs again, producing image files using illustrations and sending them to private server operators via DM. Just as a reminder, they are going out of their way to try and find people that are promoting, supporting, or helping to test private servers. If you play a private server video game, Nexon wants it where they can go into your DMs and find proof of you doing this so they can legally punish you. So Nexon asking for hosting providers and servers, it's not a mistake. They want access to Discord servers, potentially hosting providers, so that they want everything about your ass. View the DMs of these people. But when we go from broad, we go to unduly burdensome. I'm going to show you one of the most, if not the worst piece of legal documents I have ever read in terms of just straight up incompetence. They even have a watermark. Erase all private servers. There's a fucking company for this shit. Oh, these guys are scum. Holy hell. But inside of the subpoena, again, they have this list.
Says a lot about this company.
The other list that we looked at. This is an older document. And when Discord said this was completely burdensome, it's because I don't think the lawyers understand how to fill out a Word document. It got that bad. For example, they are reporting this server here, which is in Korean. They give the Discord server ID, the user IDs that are infringing, an invite code, and what is the example message link of infringing activity?
There's nothing.
At this point, I just give up. Don't even put in the message link. And if you keep on scrolling, it just gets better. I'm so sorry. I can't keep my shit together right now. They're reporting a server called Ares MS. They provide a website, as if Discord can magically do anything about it. They provide a Discord server ID, some user IDs. They provide an invite code, and for their message link, they just give you a download link, and they say, we're unable to find the message link, so the download URL from the website is indicated. We can't find the link, so here's the download link to it. And by the way, things just get worse as you keep on scrolling, because I was looking through, they're talking about different games, and as I kept on scrolling, something popped out at me. It's this one here that has 5 gazillion Discord user IDs that are reported, and they only have one message link for proof. I forgot Discord's new feature, where 30,000 people can send one message that's infringing on copyright. In fact, the reason why Discord said this was unduly burdensome and also studied rope tying techniques for themselves later on if they had to deal with this is because every single instance of infringed work that they put down contains 5 different user IDs and only one message link. And man, just the cherry on top is the very last thing. Again, lawyers have looked through this and they have signed off on it and said it was all good. The very last link has a Discord message link that doesn't even actually
see, I don't know. If this ever happened to me, like I get stuck in a server that is like, doing all this and all that, and then all of a sudden they just put me into this legal shit out of nowhere because I was just in the server, I'll be like, the fuck are we doing? I'll be like, boy, the fuck? I'm just here to just play games. Ain't no way I'm going to jail for just playing games. That's it. Ain't no way. Fuck no. That's insane.
Have the message ID at the end of it. You can see from above, it has 3 chunks of numbers. It's the server ID, the channel ID, and the message ID. This one just has the server ID and the channel ID. This is not even a fucking message link. Discord is
Not
sent this
even
legal
close.
document, and they are being asked to get all these user IDs. Most of the proof is just one message link for 5 different users. There's probably 300 Discord user IDs that are just put in this list, and Nexon's like, give us the information so we can put all these people in jail. And from there, what happened is that the parties got together, as in Discord lawyers were suffering in pain for a good handful of months, and an agreement was reached to confidently disclose basic subscriber information related to 64 user IDs. Remember, out of like the list of 500 in there, they got 64 user IDs. And you bet your bottom
That's not
dollar,
a lot.
Nexon would complain about every single user ID that was removed and not given to them. Again, Discord lawyers were probably figuring out very cool knot tying techniques. But in this case,
I
Discord
know.
was faced with a motion to compel. Nexon was basically threatening Discord and trying to force them to give all of those user IDs. So at this point, hopefully I painted a very good picture that Discord absolutely does not like dealing with Nexon. In fact,
No.
the company did not envision that Nexon would return to court with similar requests a few months later. But ladies and gentlemen, that rage
They did.
accumulated and has manifested in the most
They didn't give a fuck. They didn't give a fuck. They said, fuck you motherfuckers for saying that shit about us. We're gonna fucking put you motherfuckers in court.
legal big dick energy thing I have ever seen in my life. Mariah, you're an absolute champion. Because in response to the DMCA subpoena that was sent to Discord on behalf of Nexon Korea, Discord has already cooperated with your firm to compromise on providing basic subscriber information for a distinct set of 64 user IDs in response to an overly broad and unduly burdensome subpoena issued by your firm in October 2023 containing infringement
Damn.
allegations for 6 Nexon copyrights. We at Discord dealt with your bullshit and produced that information to your firm on June 13th, 2024. Now, you appear to be demanding additional information for yet more user IDs, which you allege infringe one of the same copyrights you have already asserted. You are attempting to renegotiate a deal that has already been struck and fulfilled. Your actions are improper. Discord is committed to fulfilling its obligations under the law, but acting as your copyright assertion partner is not one of them. And the reason why Discord says that is because Nexon cannot fill out a fucking basic form. They tried once, they
cannot.
failed, and had to negotiate with
Like, look at this shit. This is not basic. This is literally not how you fucking fill out a form. Like, this is some lazy ass motherfucker that says, yeah, here you go. I'm gonna just put it all together like this. This is lazy shit right here.
Discord for months. They tried again and they failed. And by the way, the whole reason why I'm pissed off about this is because this is consuming Discord's legal team's time. While Discord's legal team is dealing with his absolute incompetence, that's taking away their time from other more important legal requests, like getting information on creeps on Discord. And instead it's being focused on trying to fucking sue and put people in jail for playing a private server of a video game. Absolutely fucking ridiculous. Anyways, back on
It is absolutely ridiculous that they want to fucking put away people that's taking away your fucking stupid ass game that says nobody wants to play. It's free to play. Nobody gives a fuck about. All right, and you'd rather put people away for that when there's actual people that's going through actual things with these creepos and these fucking weirdos on these fucking servers and this fucking goddamn app when they were trying to take down themselves because they don't want that shit. But we got idiots like these and these companies doing shit like this.
Topic. Your firm continues to make improper and overly burdensome demands in a manner inconsistent with legal stuff, including immediate threats of motion practice and non-existent legal matters. This approach is not in line with the rules of procedure or professional conduct. Therefore, Discord is prepared to file a motion to quash your May-June subpoenas and any future improper subpoenas issued by your firm on behalf of Nexon. We ask that you immediately withdraw your subpoenas and cease issuance of further defective subpoenas, service, and processes. I could could say so much about this, but all of it summarizes to Mariah the lawyer having the biggest dick energy on the planet. In fact, she drops a list of 22 general objections and reservations to all the legal stuff that Nexon is doing. 22 objections. Wild.
That's
But the important
fucking
ones I want to point out is objection 2. Discord objects to the request as seeking the disclosure of electronic communications, strictly prohibits Discord, a service provider within the meaning of the SCA, which is Stored Communications Act, from disclosing the content of communications to third parties. If it hasn't clicked for you yet, the disclosure of electronic communications means Discord giving Nexon people's DMs and messages. And in fact, most of the objections that are in here is Discord actually rallying for user privacy. Objection 3 says Discord objects to the request because, as a matter of internal policy, Discord respects the right of its users to anonymity and privacy regarding, among other things, personally identifying information and commercial information. Objection 13 also says that Discord objects to the request as infringing its users' decision to remain anonymous, which is an aspect of their freedom of speech protected by the First Amendment. The request improperly seek to unmask anonymous speakers and consequently compel disclosure of material protected by the First Amendment. They're going full American on these bad boys, and I'm
yes,
loving
they
it.
are.
So after Discord basically said,
They're
no, go
going
f yourself,
absolutely
Nexon, again, billion-dollar company,
Yeah.
evil pieces of garbage that, again, rigged loot boxes, filed a motion to compel Discord. Again, this is like a legal threat, forcing Discord to go through with their subpoena. First off, let me make it clear. Incompetent again, because there's a spelling mistake. Number 21, as such, Discord urges this court to grant its motion and to order Discord's compliance with the subpoena. My man, this is not supposed to be Discord, it's supposed to be Nexon. I'm doing a better legal job than you are. I'm a YouTuber. I have no legal experience.
Jesus.
Now, the last thing I want to say in this video is making it super clear to you that this is Discord's most important legal case they've had so far, because here's the thing. Nexon filed a motion to compel, like I said, which is basically Nexon asking the court to enter an order, a legal order, forcing Discord to produce the requested user data. And as we've seen through the whole entire subpoena, they're asking for hosting providers and servers because they want to get information about people's DMs. If the courts force Discord to give up people's DMs, that both makes it where DMs are now nowhere close to being private. But more importantly, if the courts force Discord to give up their DMs, other corporations that want to sue people for copyright infringement on any social media platform are going to reference this case and use it to try and get what they want. This will be used as a legal precedent if Discord has to give up Discord DMs. If Discord loses here, we could be heading straight into the most dystopian reality you could imagine, where corporations can just read through your messages because they think you're infringing on their copyright. That's why this is extremely important, whether you like it or not. I just want to say Discord's legal team and Mariah, when the going gets tough, I'm here in my home, in my basement that I sit in 24/7, cheering you on like a cheerleader. Anyways, bye-bye. I love you. Mwah!
Well, I hope Discord keeps their DMs private, because there's no way they should give up their fucking DMs to a fucking corporation that's just too much of a fucking greedy ass little shitheads that doesn't even know what they're even talking about when they are the ones rigging their own loot box and trying to get their fucking players money, when other players are literally trying to play the game for free and everything. When you're bothering Discord, when Discord has other real problems going on with, pedos and all those things, but you want to go with your way of, oh, these motherfuckers are copy infringing my shit over here. When there's bigger shit going on in Discord, killing all this, blah, 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 all that, servers like that having that shit. But you want to worry about your copy infringement shit with the fucking game. Fuck that shit. You can suck a dick on that, motherfucker. Yeah.